If you're ready to turn your content evergreen so you can hop off the content hamster wheel, this is for you. Hi, I'm Leah Sparrow, and I help stressed, booked out solopreneurs level up their business so they can focus on their passions, serve clients, and enjoy their business versus working on their business. In this episode, we're going to break down the top 3 steps that need to be taken so you can create high-converting evergreen content. So first off, we need to understand what exactly is evergreen content. Well, it's content that remains relevant and useful for a long period of time. So these are timeless topics. Those are those FAQs your ideal client is asking quite often. It's not trendy stuff. It's more traditional content that always outlasts a trend. Trendy is stuff like human design. Although interesting, how does it have legs to last the test of time? That's the question. So stay with traditional content. That is the key. So the real question is, well, what is my traditional content, right? That's what you're asking yourself. Well, remember too, evergreen content is also value driven. So it provides lasting value to your viewers, readers, etc. So rely on those frequently asked questions. So when I developed my online free mini course for solopreneurs so they could evaluate their offer, pricing, niche, and sales process on their own, I did hundreds. I conducted hundreds of strategy calls and sales calls and learned about those people that were coming to me about my services. I asked myself questions like, is this my ideal? Can I help this person? Is this someone who can benefit from my services? If not, how can I change my message so that it speaks to the person that is more ideal for my services? That is what you need to do. You need to be looking at that process and determining, first, are the people that are coming to you your ideal? Once you start getting your ideal person in there and you start converting through strategy calls, if you've done this for a year, great. Let's sit down and take a look at what you've got for your market research, because that is market research. It's very valuable. So be taking those notes during those strategy calls, which is something that I cover in my Effortlessly Book program. It's a 90-day program where I help stressed out solopreneurs become the effortless solopreneur or level up their business if they choose to hire on a team or basically employ more automation in their business. But first, we need to create that evergreen content because that's where we are, is the content hamster wheel. So learn about those people that are coming to you about your services and ask those questions. Are they my ideal? Can I actually help them? How can I tweak this so that I can speak to my ideal? Now, also, while you're asking those questions, understand how they buy too, because this contributes to how you provide your services on a sales page or how you talk about your services, etc., how you support them through the buying process. Also ask, what are their biggest concerns and how do they pertain to my services? That's what you ask yourself. How do they pertain to your services inside your programs? If you've developed a course that will stand the test of time, once you've gotten your market research down, and I'm going to be giving you some steps to really optimize on your market research. There's some other things that you can do. So hang in there. Later on during this podcast, I will be sharing some of those steps that you can do to tweak that market research that you're doing right now with your clients. Now, if you've developed a course, you can sit there and tweak it over time. But if you're thinking about developing a course, this is where your sales calls and your strategy calls come into play. You really do need to do those calls in order to get all that valuable gold so that you can create a course that will help the client that you want to support, that will stand the test of time. So granted, you can have a course, but you're going to have to make tweaks along the way. This is like, the mindset might change around the problem that you solve, or the voice of your client may change, or you may even pivot a little bit and start focusing on a different type of client. But in the end, because you have traditional content that you're turning evergreen, it's easy. It's easy to repurpose. It's easy to tweak. It's easy to make those changes that you need to make in order to make it a higher converting product that brings your ideal client to you. Now, what I call this, I do this with my free mini course. It's placeholder marketing. I have a free mini course that helps people walk through their business, like I said earlier, with pricing and niche and sales processes on your own. And as I've learned more and more about the people that come to me, you're always going to learn about your people. It's not a one and done. You're always going to learn about your people. And as they come to me, I go through that course and I take a look at it and make sure it's fully supporting them. And what I can do with that course over time is, if I so decide, based on the responses that I get and who's actually engaging with that course, which clients of all levels have engaged with that course. Members of my Effortlessly Booked community, all levels, from beginner to established entrepreneurs, have taken that course and have found it very, very helpful because it's a basic audit of your business. It contains the frequently asked questions that I've gotten over the years with working with several online service-based providers over the years. And where I love my people is where you are the stressed out solopreneur who wants to find that breathing room in your business so you can continue to serve those clients while bringing in more and leveling up your business. But my free course has really helped with that, with my ability to have that evergreen product sitting there and not have to constantly churn out free content. Okay? I can talk about how my offers are. My offers, I don't have videos in my Effortlessly Booked program, the longer program, the one that's 3 months. I don't have videos inside of that because my services are customized. They're based on your client, on your journey and your client's journey. We do cover leads, lead generation, sales, content, all of those things, but I like to look at your business and see what can we do to make it more effortless for you. Evergreen is definitely a way to go with that. So I'm going to give you some examples so you can wrap your head around the concept a little more and maybe come up with some ideas about what your evergreen content looks like. Now, we have my client E. He would go into the groups and he noted some common questions. He specifically targeted on Facebook, to be clear. He noted some common questions and he made videos based on those questions. So when he saw that question being answered again inside the group where his ideal client is hanging out, then he was able to go, hey, I actually made a video on this that answers that question. Check it out. And he monetized his YouTube channel in 1 year by doing that. And he has content that stays there forever and it's search engine optimized. You can go back there and even tweak the keywords used and the hashtags and whatnot in YouTube and actually optimize your YouTube video that you don't have to do over again, but you could change certain aspects of it to speak clearer to the person that you want in your services. So you don't really have to redo the video. You just have to tweak the one you got. So client E noted those common questions. He made those videos on those questions, and he researched those for a year while serving clients and bringing them into his services. Now, I did the same thing with my online course. It's a 5-module course that covers pricing and niching and all of that. It's inside the Effortlessly Booked community. I have more information about that below. But the reason why we were both able to do this is we found those frequently asked questions, and this is the key. You get those frequently asked questions, you answer those questions, get that information out there, and then you test your content. Look for what's popular with your content. Now, there's ways to do this. If you're like, but I'm not sure exactly how to test my content. Testing content basically means looking at one thing at a time. For example, not looking at the whole episode. If you're doing like a live or a challenge or a webinar, you can actually turn challenges into evergreen content, which my clients have done with their challenges. They just put it on repeat and it becomes easier and easier and easier every time because they have the content in there that they need. As a matter of fact, when I'm asked for speaking events or anytime I'm on an interview, I have content that I can just go, here you go. I don't have to make a new freebie. I don't have to make a new course. I don't have to make new anything. I've already got the content right there on hand that I can just go, that's what I'm doing during this speaking engagement. That's what I'm doing. I don't have to sit there again in my office and make another presentation. I have presentations that I can just pull from and just, there we go. I'm good. I'm ready to go and still be able to serve my clients, still be able to go ride my horses, still be able to go pet my dogs, still be able to go for walks and hikes and see my son whenever I want to, who lives 6 hours away. So spontaneous road trips are my thing. So that being said, once you've tested your content, you've done the strategy calls, you've gotten all the market research. Another way to get market research is also to check out YouTube. Search your services on YouTube. Search the problem that you solve on YouTube and find out what's common. What's out there? What are they talking about? Look at the comments. See how people respond to those videos. Go on Amazon. Take a look at some of the topics via book style and see what people are saying about that. Look at the reviews. See what they're saying. Use answerthepublic.com. Answer the Public. It's an online service. It's free, but it's limited free. I think you can ask it one. You can put in keywords for once a day or something like that. But you can go in there and put in some of the keywords as it pertains to your problem that you solve, and it will give you different ways to how people ask questions around the problem that you solve. Another way, there's several ways, there's keywords everywhere. Now, these services are low in price. I'm all about keeping overhead low. Keywords Everywhere has been around for a long, long time. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Well, last time I haven't had to pay for it in years. I paid like one time, and it's been just working for me since. And then I may have had to, it's like a bank account. You kind of deposit your money. It lasts for a while. I think I put $10 in there, and it lasted me over a year. So Keywords Everywhere is a great one. It basically goes through Google. It can go through YouTube. It can go through anything that is SEO optimized, which YouTube is SEO. So, of course, Google is, your website is, all that kind of stuff, but it can go through those keywords on Google or on any website, YouTube, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. And you can put in the keywords and it'll tell you how often somebody searches that particular keyword. Therefore, you can use that keyword in your descriptions, in your titles, in your hashtags, all of that kind of stuff, so that you can optimize your content that way. So test your content. It's a great way to do it. Think about placeholder marketing. Wrap your head around that, because that's really what evergreen content is. Now, if you need help with this, check out the show notes for details on how I can support you in your journey towards spending less time working on your biz and more time enjoying the fruits of your labor.